Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today, we are talking about how Blake Lively and Ezra Hudson were caught in a bold-faced lie to the judge and the courts. And ultimately, like I called it, it was a PR move all along. Ezra Hudson's bullshit, in my opinion, filing on Friday. And Wayfarer and Kevin, from one of the attorneys for Wayfarer, called them out. Called their bluff. And I can just imagine, both legally and from a PR perspective, Blake's entire team is regretting every move they made on Friday. They're regretting it. All right, guys. How are you guys feeling today? Yes, please like the stream. Let's get to 14K today, guys. Let's get to 14K. So make sure, if you're new here, to subscribe to the channel. Good morning, afternoon, wherever you guys are tuning in from. We have a lot to talk about today in regards to Blake Lively being a liar who lies. And apparently Ezra Hudson, allegedly, based on what we see in the courts, as an extension of Blake. Guys, it's been a couple of days, let me tell you that. But actually, I should introduce myself first. Welcome, my name's Ashley Brianna Eve. I have over 15 years of experience in branding and marketing, with a particular interest in reputation management. So we've been looking at the case through that lens, the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni, It Ends With Us lawsuits. And then I got pulled into it with a Google subpoena. So I am one of the 16 Google subpoena content creators. And before we get too far into this, I want to say something, because I've been saying for the last, I don't know, whenever these dropped, what is time anymore? It seems like time is just a figment of my imagination with everything that's going on. Yeah, vindicated. Yeah, exactly. For everyone that was like, I don't know, like maybe we shouldn't trust them. Maybe they were paid and there is a list. Yeah. Accepting apologies now. Okay. So since these dropped, I've been getting a lot of people saying, you need to stop talking about the Google subpoenas because it's taking attention away from Van Zandt. This is SEO manipulation because of Van Zandt. They're trying to manipulate SEO. First of all, I've made a reel on this. SEO manipulation is Google. Period. And Van Zandt was not even being touched by legacy media. They weren't even looking at it. So I've said from the beginning, that's not what it is. They are not trying to bury in the algorithm. They're not trying to bury Van Zandt. And I shared a reel about this today. And I've been, this is something that I've been trying to say. And I think we now have this proof that the reason why speaking about the content creator subpoenas is so important is because it shows a pattern. There was a photographer, and I'm looking into it right now. There was a photographer that Ryan and Blake tried to abuse the legal system around. There was Van Zandt they tried to abuse the legal system around. And now it's the content creator subpoenas that they are trying to abuse the legal subpoena or the legal process around. And to me, what this shows is a pattern of behavior of Blake and Ryan. To me, Blake and Ryan abusing the legal system for taking out people they don't like, or taking out people that are saying things they don't agree with. We now have a trail. And if you ask me, they are, I'm always hesitant to call people narcissists, but they've got issues. And it now looks like a consistent process and a pattern for them that they don't like you. They abuse the legal system to take you down. Oh my gosh, what was that? Why are there balloons? How did I trigger balloons? I don't know how I trigger balloons on StreamYard, but I did. I don't know. Maybe that's StreamYard celebrating me for putting the connection together. Who knows? But they don't like you. They abuse the legal process to bury you, to stop you, to silence you. And then they get what they wanted. They get the thing that they were after. And then the people are left in their wake. There's bodies left in their wake. And to me, they are so caught up in their own heads. They have been getting away with it for so long that it didn't, what did Justin Bieber say? It's not clocking to them. There was no, in my opinion, thought process for Blake and Ryan around the content creator subpoena of it being anything other than what they have continually done, which, in my opinion, with publicly available information, Blake, they didn't pay me to say this. With publicly available information, it appears that it is a consistent pattern of them taking out people through legal means that they don't like. So, no, I don't think we should stop talking about the content creator subpoena because it just proves that this is exactly what they do. They abuse the legal system. They create shady ass subpoenas to silence people. They create shady ass subpoenas to circumvent legal processes to take out people they don't like. And originally I had said this morning, I wish like Ronan Farrow or someone would take up this story. And then everyone was like, Ashley, you need to take up this story. So, more balloons. I don't even know how I got the balloons, to be honest. Were you guys able to see the balloons? I always joke that it's like StreamYard agreeing with me that I'm onto something or the universe. But this morning I had mentioned on a reel, I said, we need to, or someone needs to pick this up because what we're showing is there's a true investigative journalistic piece available here. That they have continually proven themselves to abuse the legal system to take out people they don't like. And again, I genuinely do not believe there has ever been a thought process for them that we're going to get caught or it's to like hide other wrongdoings. Because what the letter that Kevin sent to the judge proves, and their willingness to take off attorney eyes only from all of the protected industry secrets of tag, what that proves is that they continually use a legal process to take out people. So that's what I've been saying. I've been saying there's something more to this, that it's not SEO. It has nothing to do with the Van Zandt in the sense of trying to like hide it in the algorithm or trying to like push it down or make people forget about it. I think the only connection is this is what they do. And they didn't think they'd get caught. This also goes, in my opinion, to prove what Emily D. Baker said on her channel. She said, Ryan and Blake's team don't understand social media. They understand legacy media, and it's two different animals. So I genuinely believe every step of the way they're playing catch up because they're not understanding that, one, people don't like them, but two, people are going to start connecting the dots. This is not the era where you can do shady shit and get away with it like that. So people are starting to connect the dots. And the more they try to silence people, the more they piss people off and get people on their necks trying to figure out the connections that are going on. And it was interesting, and I apologize, this is not an intentional forgetting of the content creator that talked about this on TikTok, but there was a content creator on TikTok. I didn't know her previously. I was tagged in one of her reels where she said, if nothing else, the astronomer CEO situation should prove to Blake and Ryan that you do not need to be paid. Like, it's not a coordinated smear campaign. If you do something shady, the internet finds you out. Like, within 24 hours, they knew who the guy was. They knew who the girl was. They knew who the partners were, the wife, the husband. They knew everything on these people. They knew that the woman had been divorced previously, and this was like her second marriage or something, and she hadn't been married that long. They figured out where, I think, what was her name, Karen or something, the head of HR. They figured out who her billionaire current husband is. Like, you don't need a coordinated smear campaign, Blake. People didn't like how you marketed It Ends With Us, and I'm doing another kind of like montage to Blake Lively on, who she was during the marketing versus who she thinks she is now or who she's trying to portray herself to be now. People caught on and they didn't like it. Period. My first Ashley Live. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad. Welcome to the chat. Everyone's so sweet in the chat. Did y'all see they supposedly subpoenaed a minor child? I did see that. I did see that going around. I haven't looked too much into it, but I did see that. But more balloons. Happy. Yeah. StreamYard celebrating. Jazz hands. Blake Lively's over party. Even StreamYard's happy to see it. Okay. So with that said, I am going to be putting the pieces together myself because originally I was saying I think legacy media should pick it up. But do you think any legacy media is going to put the connections together? Probably not. I would hope Ronan Farrow would, because he's always been like the stand for justice, but probably not. And with that, kind of as an extension of that, I get a lot of tips to my 2 business emails, which makes it very difficult to navigate everything. So I did create, let me just drop it in the chat, as part of my platform, like as part of my business emails, I created a dedicated tip line. Let's keep it, just so I don't have a lot to wade through right now, guys, because it is literally just me. I don't have a team like Candace Owens that can go through everything and vet everything. If you have something specific to public information, specific to them leveraging the legal process to take people out, so that, is it, what's his name? I can't think of the guy's name now, the photographer that they abused and put through the legal process. I'll look into Van Zandt. If there's anything specific about Van Zandt, you can send it there. Anything that's relevant to what I am currently working on, which will be this investigative journalist piece, send it to tips, TIPS, at ashleybrianna1neve.com. So I put it in the chat as well. And then that way, again, it's just in one place, because often if I'm getting a lot within my business email and I'm trying to go through client emails as well, I just don't have the capacity to sort through everything. All right. So those are my thoughts on Van Zandt. I think they're just so narcissistic that they didn't think people were going to put it together. I think it's just, they just cannot fathom that people are going to put their shit together. I genuinely think it's as basic bitch as that. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate you guys so much. I can't even tell you. I look forward to hanging out with this community every single day. Ashley is the new legacy media. I'm just going to do it myself. What's the saying? If you want it done right, do it yourself, or whatever. I want it done right. I'm just going to do it myself. I've already got a subpoena. I mean, I suppose it could send me another one, but I'm in Canada. So, I mean, I shouldn't taunt them too much. Hello, Bruce from Oregon. A tip line, very X-Files. X-Files really goes with my brand too. Oh no, I forgot the anarchy thing in the corner. People can't leave comments calling me an anarchist and criticizing my branding. Very X-Files. If you guys want to send alien tips too, I mean, you can send that too. All right, let's have a look. Let's just do a road so far. All right, let's look at the epic error that Ezra Hudson made, where I'm guessing her and Blake are drinking Pepto straight from the bottle today, would be my assumption of what they're doing. Like just chugging it. Just chugging the Pepto. So Ezra Hudson submitted this to the court on Friday. I said from the beginning, this is a PR piece, that they were trying to regain control of the narrative. Thank you to Justin Bieber. Clocked it, not clocking it. My new favorite sayings. Just going to pick it up from a fellow Canadian, because I'm just disowning Ryan Reynolds. He's not Canadian. You guys can keep him over in the US. So Ezra Hudson had submitted this. And basically, we're not going to read through it all again. Essentially, what she said to the court was, what is happening is all of these content creators were under an attorney eyes only seal. And what you've done, what TAG has done, which is the agency group, I think it's Melissa Nathan, they do the snarky self-proclaimed reputation management, and they put it in air quotes. Oh, Ezra. I feel like that was just a nail in the coffin of Melissa being like, fuck it, unseal it, unleash the dragons. Y'all wanted Pandora's box open, Ezra, and Melissa was like, you put reputation management in quotes, I'm unleashing Pandora's box, bitches. So they put this up, and essentially it says that the reason Blake is receiving backlash is because it's all TAG's fault. It's all Melissa Nathan's fault. They put our names under an attorney eyes only. They said that because our names, those that were in the Google /YouTube, Google owns YouTube, X, and TikTok subpoenas, because we were under attorney's eyes only, Blake Lively couldn't tell us why we were subpoenaed. She couldn't tell us, even though they did tell us. the attorneys were calling and they were like, yeah, we subpoenaed you because we think you're part of a smear campaign. They did tell us. But she said, no, 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 no. It's all Melissa Nathan's fault. They've tied our hands. This is the same Darvo stuff they all pull. I've also said that on this channel how many times, guys? I said, what are they going to do? Me Too and Darvo. That's their whole shtick for their PR. That's all they got. So, it's all, they're repeating the past. They're the bullies, not Blake. They're the bullies. They're the ones that put the content creators in the line of fire. So basically, they played chicken. And Not Actually Golden gave a thumbs up to my theory on this because I'm not a lawyer. Don't even play one on TV, although I did want to be an actor at one point in my life when I was younger. Spice Girls inspired me to want to, perform, and I couldn't sing. So I thought, I'll be an actor. No, never worked out. Anyway, so what happened with this is they played chicken with Wayfarer and with Melissa Nathan. Not Actually Golden said, yes, that's my theory. Like, I agree with you. That's my theory as well. My thought is when they were talking, and Crisis PR, and this was a PR piece, Crisis PR is always weighing pros and cons, right? Sometimes you don't have a good option. You're just weighing, like, what is the best thing for us and worst case scenario? And okay, well, it's worth the benefits outweigh the risk. And my thought process is when they, and Ezra, I'm just based on what I see, they weighed the pros and cons and they said there is no way Melissa Nathan will actually unseal this. There's no way. Because what we see is Wayfarer's attorneys did say, yeah, these are industry secrets, but revealing to the public what went on to show everyone there was no coordinated smear campaign outweighs keeping those private. But I believe, my opinion only, that on Blake's side, they said there's no way. They're not going to do it. They're not going to unseal everything. So we can accuse them and say, look, just de-designate it. Just de-designate it because then it'll show everyone's on it. And what we saw yesterday was Wayfarer's lawyers come out and say, fine, do it. And I do not think anyone on Blake's team was expecting that. I think they almost had an aneurysm when they saw that. So let's go to Kevin. You called it and they didn't expect Kevin Receipts Fritz to expose him. Kevin Receipts Fritz. I love that. I love how he writes. He is amazing. Kevin crushed Ezra, called her bluff, and then went many steps further. Yep. I'm not a bot. That is so fitting for this. What a mess, guys. But this was good. Okay, so we'll just read this one in full because we haven't read this one in full yet. So this was Kevin Fritz responding to Ezra. He says, Dear Judge Lyman, as counsel for Wayfarer Studios, LLC, Justin Baldoni, Jamie Heath, Steve Sarowitz, It Ends With Us Movie, LLC, Melissa Nathan, the agency group PR, LLC, TAG, and Jennifer Abel, collectively the Wayfarer parties, we write in response to Blake Lively's motion to compel TAG to de-designate what was marked as confidential and attorney's eyes only in its second supplemental response and objections dated June 25th, 2025. According to the motion, a core component of Lively's claims is that the Wayfarer parties are engaging in a smear campaign to somehow manipulate the apparently worldwide media landscape using untraceable sources to portray her as a wrongdoer. Docket 449. Characterizing the so-called campaign as untraceable not only defies common sense, given that Lively knows precisely which news articles or stories and the authors thereof she takes issue with, but also undermines any justification for her ongoing effort to use this court and the federal rules of civil procedure to discover the quote-unquote untraceable. I feel like they've been dying to say this. Like they've been just waiting to say this. Probably felt so good for them. In any event, Lively contends that TAG may have been able to obscure its contacts in connection with the initial smear campaign in August 2024. That is an admission that despite months of discovery, her receipt of thousands of pages of documents and her service of dozens of subpoenas and other requests for written discovery, Lively has no evidence that the Wayfarer parties employed a smear campaign or did anything in August 2024 other than protect their reputations, as they are entitled to do when Lively's allegations were publicized, which you're allowed to do. You are allowed. It is not retaliation. And not actually Golden put this in her video she uploaded yesterday. She says it's not, if you're defending yourself, it's came afterwards, right? It's not what she's claiming. And they actually quote a case that Judge Lyman himself ruled on in regards to this very situation. It says dismissing the title retaliation claim based upon publication of letter contesting plaintiff's harassment allegations because it was not an adverse employment action. Indeed, TAG was not retained until early 2024, rendering Lively's claim that in less than 2 weeks, TAG was able to turn the public against her incredible. Unable to accept the fact that the public backlash against Lively was purely organic, the motion improperly seeks to blame TAG for Lively's sinking reputation without citing to any evidence. The motion alleges that the individuals identified in the interrogatory responses have spoken publicly about Miss Lively and this lawsuit, apparently at the behest of TAG and the other Wayfarer defendants. However, the motion ignores the broad scope of the interrogatories, which seeks the names of those whom TAG has merely communicated concerning, among other topics, Lively, her allegations, or this lawsuit from May 2024 through to present. This is why the interrogatory responses identify those to whom TAG has harmlessly provided quotes from the Wayfarer Party's counsel in response to media requests for formal statements in connection with legal developments herein, as Lively's legal team has repeatedly done. So basically they're saying it's even less ridiculous, or it's even more ridiculous than what I had said yesterday. Yesterday I said they probably have lists, which they might still have this list, but they probably have lists of the watch list. Every crisis PR firm will have a watch list. I mean, you can even download apps and software that help you track public sentiment. But it's even more ridiculous than that. All they have is content creators that TAG, on behalf of the legal team, issued statements to. But it gets worse. The interrogatory responses are in no fashion an admission that TAG communicated with the individuals to tarnish Lively's reputation, as she falsely alleges. Lively will not uncover any nefarious efforts by the Wayfarer parties to convince anyone that she is anything or nothing at all. And that probably bugged her. She's like, what? So now you're not talking about me? Now I'm going to sue you because you're not talking about me. How dare you? Lively will not uncover any nefarious actions. In fact, TAG did not communicate with any content creators about this matter or the underlying allegations until 2025, when requests for comment were preferred. The motion contends that the interrogatory responses, confidentiality, and AEO designations are having very real impacts in the form of content creators who are the subject of discovery have already painted Miss Lively as the aggressor in this lawsuit and have drawn false equivalency between her discovery efforts and the Wayfarer party's alleged smear campaign. So that's what Ezra said on Friday. This is a long-winded manner of saying that Lively blames TAG for the recent public backlash against her. However, the allegation is baseless. First, if the interrogatory responses are currently reviewable only by counsel, they cannot affect the public's perception of Lively. Like common sense, Blake and Ezra, if it is under attorney's eyes only, how did you put our names in a subpoena? And that's what I said as well. I was like, according to what I could find, she wouldn't have been able to use that to put it out in the public because it's attorney eyes only. And they're calling it out in a fancier way. But if it was reviewable only by counsel, it cannot affect the public's perception because it's not public. Oy, 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 guys, this is just a mess. Second, the recent public backlash was seemingly triggered by the subpoenas that Lively's counsel served upon Google, TikTok, and X, collectively known as the social media subpoenas, seeking all account information, including phone number and financial information of specific content creators. According to one article, if Blake Lively had been hoping to garner public sympathy in her ongoing SH lawsuit with Justin Baldoni, that now seems unlikely given the backlash over her subpoena to Google for information about several pro-Justin Baldoni YouTubers. They should have included the quote from, was it Radar Online, that said there was a PR expert that said it's the equivalent, sending these subpoenas out is the equivalent of clubbing baby seals. It's like the PR equivalent of it. They should have also put that in. This is just so ridiculous. Sorry, guys, I'm missing the chat. I'll jump back in a minute to hang out. Third, the various content creators and members of the mainstream media identified in the interrogatory responses, only one of them is the subject of social media subpoenas. I'm guessing, and this is a complete guess, I'm guessing it's Andy from Popcorn Planet. And I don't say that for any reason other than we all know, and he put on his channel that he had a quote. So I'm guessing what they're saying is there's a list of content creators that had reached out for comment, and Tag provided them a comment or the official statement from the legal team. That doesn't mean they're seeding stories. That doesn't mean there's anything shady. That doesn't mean they're in cahoots with Wayfarer. It doesn't mean there's a smear campaign. It just means that when Blake's team had extended content creators, right? Like extended the interrogatories to include any statements that were given to content creators, that they just said, okay, yeah, we gave a statement to this person. So there's only one person that was on the Google, X, or TikTok subpoenas that is on a list. And the list is simply, we gave them a statement. Like, Ezra, girl. Everyone was already putting together a bar complaint, but Jesus. Therefore, the interrogatory responses and the designations thereof as confidential and AEO are irrelevant to the PR mess that Lively has brought upon herself. She needs new representation. Had Lively's counsel properly engaged and continued the meet and confer process concerning the interrogatory responses instead of filing the motion in a misguided effort to blame the Wayfarer parties for her public relation woes, a response of this nature would not have been necessary. So they're saying and I love how they put this actually, because her team, we all know how she is now. And because you watch this channel and you hang out here, you understand marketing and PR and narrative control. Right? That's what we do here. If you're new here, make sure to like, subscribe. We're going to 14K today. Most amazing community on the internet. Don't mess with baby seals, Bruce says. I think Annie was maybe the one who reached out for comment. I think so as well. Yeah, don't mess with baby seals, man. Don't mess with baby seals. Also, go support Bruce from Oregon's channel. My favorite new channel to watch. What they're basically saying here is they're getting ahead of. So if I was on their PR team, which I'm not, someone's going to clip that and make it something it's not. If I was on their PR team, I'd say you want to make sure it's very clear that this isn't a PR statement. That you're only making this, you're only putting this on the docket. You're only talking about this because they forced you to. Because we all know what Blake's going to do. Oh, look at Wayfarer parties. They're using the docket to trash me. Darvo. Because that's what she's done. Her PR is so predictable. I call it so easy because they are so predictable. And that's exactly what they would do. So hello, CJ. You're making eggs but listening. It's so nice to see you. What they're doing here is essentially saying, look, this is only on the docket. This information's only here because our hand was forced, basically. Like, don't cry that we are using the court docket to Darvo and Me Too shit. Like, you forced our hand. Tellingly, the motion lacks citation to legal authority supporting the de-designation of the proprietary information contained within the interrogatory responses. And Not Actually Golden addresses this as well. She says they are saying this is industry secrets. They are asking us to reveal industry secrets with no reason, no legal authority other than they're making Blake look like the aggressor, but it's because they put it under AEO. And I'm telling you right now, from a PR perspective, I keep getting asked, Ash, what's the PR move? They thought that Melissa and Tag was going to tell them to go pound salt or go pound sand or whatever the saying is. Damn it, I can't be clever with a saying. Go pound sand or whatever. That's what they thought. And so they had maybe one good day of PR, decent day of PR, I'd say decent day, where it did slow momentum because the legacy media was picking up the story about the content creator subpoena. Ezra put her letter to the judge and it stopped it. And I think it made some legacy media nervous. I mean, like, oh shit, we don't want to put this story out there if there is actually a list and all these people are guilty AF. So it did stop the momentum that content creators were making. And in fact, I can say, and I'm not going to list platform names or legacy media names, but there were multiple stories that were in progress that just disappeared. And I think it's because of the letter Ezra put to the judge made people gun shy. They were nervous. And they thought, no, if these content creators are messed up in something and they were on a list, I'm not running with this story. And I can empathize with legacy media being like, not touching this, not touching it, because Ezra said that all your names are on a list. So they got some good press. And I believe, in my opinion, that they figured Melissa Nathan would say no. And I think they didn't include any legal authority because they figured Melissa Nathan would be like, no. And if they hit hit the like button, yes, please, thank you. Can't multitask. I saw that in my eye, and then the word came out of my mouth. And thank you for supporting me, guys, and for encouraging everyone to like and subscribe. It's best community ever. You guys are incredible. So if Melissa Nathan had said no, I believe what you would have seen is Blake Lively start to run with stories of basically, again, Darvo, Me Too, painting her as the aggressor. They're just following up on things that, they found in interrogatories. I genuinely believe you would have seen that. But that's not what happened. And that's why I think they didn't put legal authorities supporting it, because I think they genuinely believed that Melissa Nathan would be like, absolutely not. Because here's the thing. Yeah, there's the potential for real harm. There is to Melissa Nathan. Because now when that interrogatory response is, if the judge comes and says, all right, fine, there's no challenge, everyone wants it unsealed, we're just going to unseal it. No one's necessarily, and not actually Golden's talked about this, they don't necessarily like put it on the docket, right? But it doesn't prevent anyone from talking about it. So basically Wayfarer is like, yeah, unseal it. And they also call her bluff, basically being like, do what you said. Show everyone. I don't think they're going to. But they say, what I was saying is it absolutely has the potential to negatively impact Melissa's business. Because if there is a list, which they are saying there is a list of their industry contacts, you don't really want your industry secrets out there. You don't want your contacts out there. You don't want what you do behind the scenes out there. So yes, it does negatively impact Melissa. And I do think in a roundabout way, it's supporting the content creators, but I really believe she also weighed the pros and cons on her own side and was like, look, just put it out in the light of day, because I am sick of them blaming me of some smear campaign that I didn't do. Prove you're not a bot and hit like. I love that. Yes. You guys are the best. So they go on and say the reason for that omission is clear. The motion was filed. Oh, keep reading, Ashley. The reason for that omission is clear. The motion was filed for a single purpose: to wrongly foist upon Tag and the other Wayfarer parties the culpability for the criticism Lively has faced for her social media subpoenas. Agreed. As Emily D. Baker said, they don't understand social media. They understand legacy media, and they're getting eaten alive. They're getting eaten alive. And yes, legacy media has a massive stronghold on public opinion still. Unfortunately, it does. But we're starting to make ground, guys. Legacy media was picking it up. I think they just got a little bit nervous with there potentially being a list that people were on. But I think legacy media, I genuinely think they're going to keep going on this. So Tag covets the proprietary nature of the identities of their media contacts, as they should. They shouldn't have their arm forced and blackmailed and being manipulated by Lively's team with malicious intent, my opinion, to reveal those names, because it absolutely has the potential to negatively impact Tag. And it pisses me off that they're basically getting their arm twisted to be like, okay, we either let them run with this bullshit narrative or we take the AEO off and show people. So it says Tag does covet the proprietary nature of the identities of its media contacts. However, Tag is dedicated to standing with the other Wayfarer parties to discredit Lively's false allegations of an orchestrated smear campaign. Accordingly, Tag does not oppose the motion and agrees to remove the confidentiality and AEO designations from its interrogatory responses. In return, Tag trusts that Lively will no longer allege that anything regarding the so-called smear campaign is untraceable, or the campaign is untraceable. I mean, good luck with that. Good luck with that. She's going to keep going. Because I feel like if there was no malicious intent, she would then remove all the subpoenas, which she hasn't done. She hasn't done. In fact, one of the ex users, and I don't want to out it publicly, I'm sure she'll post on her X account. She just got feedback from them that yes, in fact, she is being subpoenaed through X. So, yeah, Tag hit them with the Uno reverse, literally. They weren't expecting that. I can guarantee you guys, they were not expecting that at all. So I'm sure their stomachs dropped into their feet when they saw that. Now, from what I understand from Not Actually Golden, and what she said is, again, it doesn't mean that it's all of a sudden going to be put up for everyone to see. But essentially, Wayfarer is calling their bluff and being like, do it, post it. Go ahead. We don't oppose it. And I'd be shocked if they go forward with posting anything, to be honest. So that was Kevin Fritz's response, who is becoming one of my favorite lawyers, not just because of this, but just the way he writes is just, I love it. Chef's kiss. What are you guys thinking about that? Before we switch gears, what are you guys thinking about that? So for those, triple dog dare ya, post it, literally. And hello, Bushbirds. If you guys do not know the Bushbirds, my favorite people are hanging out. I feel like so honored. It's so weird when people I watch me. It's just weird. It's very surreal still. But I love you guys, and I always shimmy with you guys when you guys shimmy. You guys got me doing a shimmy. I'm not going to dance for you guys though on live because I can't dance. They do great shimmies. You'll know what I mean if you go subscribe to the Bushbirds. All right. So what are you guys feeling about this? We called it on the channel. And again, guys, so for those just hopping on, make sure to like, subscribe. So if you're just hopping on now, what I talked about in the beginning is what I believe this exposes is a pattern. Okay. They are so in their own heads. They're so used to Blake and Ryan having control, manipulating the narrative, silencing people through the courts, that I genuinely do not believe they saw any of this pushback coming. Even for the content creators, I don't think they saw any of this coming. And therefore, I don't think they were planning on the content creator subpoena having any effect on Van Zandt or anything. I think this is what they do. Creature, it's like muscle memory, right? It's like the way you brush your teeth in the morning. These people silence people with shady ass subpoenas. It's just as easy as brushing the fucking teeth. So what I've done, because I've been getting a lot of messages this morning, I said Ronan Farrow should cover it, and you guys swarmed my comments, my DMs, my email, and you're like, Ashley, you cover it. You do it. We want you to do it. So I am going to put those connections together. I am going to create my own expose on this, but just so that we have one place where we can, I can go through things in a way that doesn't include wading through all my client emails and business emails. We're going to use tips at ashleybriannaeve.com. So I dropped it in the chat So if you know anything about the photographer that they manipulated in the court and they used the law against, anything in regards to Van Zandt, actually investigate some of your report. Yeah, I refuse to be silent. Anything in regards to Van Zandt, anything you feel could be useful in regards to, and let's just keep it, because again, I do this all on my own. I don't have a Candace Owens size team, and I have my business as well. We need a pin and yarn wall to diagram the case. We literally do need one. I should get one behind us and just keep it behind us. If it's in regards to, and let's keep it super focused right now, guys, because again, and I run a farm animal sanctuary at my farm and all kinds of things. If it's in regards to the way Blake and Ryan have used the law to silence people, manipulate people, shady subpoenas, send that through to tips at Ashley, Brianna, 1N, Eve. All right. I saw some comments about this, so let's have a look. Because I don't want you guys to panic. But I know you guys don't, because everyone here, we all use our logical thinking, and I think that's why Blake is so threatened by this community. All right. Yes, there is a story being pushed right now, which also makes me laugh that it's your villain origin story, Unleash the Kraken of Truth. I love that. I love it. PowerPoint hot. You guys are hilarious. My ADHD loves this chat. I'm not going to lie. When I need to focus, I go to a separate page. I love hanging out with you guys so much, and you're so funny. And then my ADHD gets all over the place. Okay. This is so frustrating for me, this story, because we lost the momentum. And again, I do, like, looking at you, Hollywood Reporter, Variety, Vanity Fair, TMZ, Glamour, all of those, like, looking at you guys, because I can understand, I can empathize that you drop this story like it was hot, drop it like it's hot. That's what you did with the story, because you were worried when Ezra came out with her bullshit motion. But there's still time to pick it back up. There's still time to do the right thing. But instead, right now, what legacy media is running with is Justin Baldoni's insurer sues him. But I think honestly, guys, to me, again, not a lawyer though, but it feels a bit like a nothing burger. Like this is insurance companies. If they can find a way out of paying for shit, they're going to try and find a way out. But we'll have a look at the story. Justin Baldoni's insurer sues him and Wayfarer, saying its policies don't cover Blake Lively harassment suit. So this came out and started trending yesterday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So the company providing liability insurance to Justin Baldoni's Wayfarer Studios has filed a lawsuit against them in federal court, saying that its policies don't cover the claims asserted by Blake Lively and her SH lawsuit stemming from the making of It Ends With Us. Harco National Insurance Company filed a lawsuit Monday in the U.S. District Court of the Southern District of New York. It's seeking a declaration that its two policies issued to Wayfarer, one effective from July 15th, 2023 to July 15th, 2024, and one effective from July 15th, 2024 to July 15th, 2025, were signed after Lively and others complained of SH during pre-production and production of the film, as early as May 2023, outside the time parameters of the policy. Despite the acknowledged pre-July 2023 complaints by Lively and others, Wayfarer's July 2023 application for the 2023 policy includes a letter from Wayfarer which warrants that no person or entity for whom the insurance is intended has any knowledge or information of any act, error, omission, fact, or circumstance which may give rise to a claim which may fall within the employment practices liability coverage if issued by Harco. The lawsuit states. The 2023 warranty also states that it agreed that if such knowledge or information exists, any claim arising therefore, whether or not disclosed herein, is excluded from the proposed coverage. The defendants in North Carolina-based Harco's suit include Baldoni, It Ends With Us Movie LLC, Wayfarer CEO Jamie Heath, and Wayfarer co-founder and co-chairman Steve Sarowitz. Lively sued Baldoni, Wayfarer's publicity team, and others at the end of last year after she accused him of SH in retaliation on the set of It Ends With Us, which was released in August 2024 and grossed $351 million at the worldwide box office. Baldoni countersued against her for defamation and extortion, with the New York Times also named as a defendant. A judge dismissed the latter claim in June. You know, I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not going to speak to the law. I've always erred. I'm going to be honest. Whenever I'm doing, whether it was life insurance for myself, I remember when I was getting life insurance for myself, and I was so worried because they asked a question about like heart problems, and I had gone to I had like heart palpitations once. And so I went to a cardiologist. I was referred to a cardiologist, but I was cleared. They said there was nothing there. That was likely from stress, is going back quite a few years. But I like call up the insurance company again because I was afraid that at one point, if I ever had heart problems, they'd be like, oh no, there's a pre-existing problem. It's always disclose too much if you can at the end of the day, because they're going to find a way to get through it. But to me, I think they're just trying to get out of paying any of the legal fees is what it comes down to. Now, if he can prove that he's innocent and he wins the case, will it change anything? It might not, because they might still say, well, no, but you still knew that she had made these complaints. But I don't know. Insurer sues over it, ends with us coverage claim, no duty to indemnify, reigniting the high stakes Hollywood battle between justice. Reigniting? When did it stop? So I don't know. That's the story that's being run with right now. It's typical issues with insurance companies. It is what it is. My concern more than anything is why is no one starting to pick up this story again? Because we did have a couple, like I said, legacy media platforms that were willing to pick up the story. And then they kind of ghosted us after Ezra's letter came out. I'd like to see them pick it up again. I'd like to see them stand by the truth, ultimately, is what it is. Let's see what's going on with Justin's. So for those new to the channel, one of the things that is kind of like my baby when it comes to reputation management with my clients is Google SEO. So for my newer clients, if you have a newer business here, or you're a personal brand, or you're a YouTuber, SEO is still important. Perez Hilton, I've said this multiple times, is a genius. I wish I had someone let's see if he's trending. He usually is. The day I have the time to also embed everything on my website so that I can trend on the front page of Google, I will be doing it. But Perez Hilton, you're often going to see his website trending because he embeds the videos on his website, which allows him to trend with legacy media, which is so good. So good. Because mostly what you're going to see is social media content like this is going to trend, sure, under videos, maybe even short videos. Shorts, I find you're still fighting legacy media on. So if you can see it here, NBC, CBS, E! News, Dave Neal, shout out to Dave Neal, love Dave, nice, such a nice guy, always been so kind to me. Page 6, ABC News Live. So this is under Justin Baldoni News, CTV, Page 6, E! News, Court TV, TMZ, so you get the point. Under shorts, you're still competing quite heavily with legacy media. The only place that we tend to dominate on Google is under long form video. But the problem with this overall is Google is still one of the main places to get news. YouTube statistics are showing as like the next big place, which, yay, that's where we are. However, what I've tried to communicate multiple times is people don't go to Google to get YouTube news. Let me know if that makes sense. Like, if you go to YouTube to get your news, do you go to Google and type in Justin Baldoni lawsuit updates and then click on videos and then go to YouTube? Or do you go straight to YouTube and click in like Justin Baldoni lawsuit updates, etc.? You likely, if you prefer your news through YouTube, you go to YouTube, right? You cut out a step and you type in Justin Baldoni updates or Blake Lively update. I go to Reddit. You have no YouTube for news. Yeah. So you're going straight to YouTube. I go to Reddit. Girl, oh my goodness. You have a nervous system that is stronger than me. I cannot do Reddit. Don't show me screenshots from there. Don't tell me what's going on there. Reddit is like immediate nervous system destabilization. It's like DEFCON red for my nervous system. Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad you're loving the stream. I try to also create short form videos for you guys, but I do love hanging out with the community because it's, like I said, the best community out there. Reddit is a cesspool. It is. It is. So the whole point, I just want everyone thinking about this when we think of Google and SEO. So SEO is a search engine optimization. It's kind of my baby because a lot of my clients and who are public figures, who are everyday people just like you, starting a YouTube channel, starting a coaching business, a healing business. I work with a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs as well. You want to be able to trend on Google, whether you have brick and mortar businesses or an online business. You want your blog posts trending on Google. It is still an incredible place to get clients. Most of my high profile clients find me on Google still. They type in something and they find me on Google. So people that are hiring me for consulting work. So you want to be able to trend. LinkedIn is another way that you can trend on Google. A lot of people are finding people to hire, experts, through Google, but then they're finding the LinkedIn article. So it's critically important to still understand. I know we're in an age of social media, but guys, if you are building a personal brand, you need to be leveraging SEO, which is search engine optimization, which can only be done on a search engine, which is Google. Now, when we hear about SEO manipulation, they're primarily working with the SEO of Google. Yes, there's like DuckDuckGo and stuff, but people aren't really like spending money to figure out how to hack that at the end of the day. They're going for Google. The funny thing is, when they flood, when they do this manipulative stuff, if you or I, we go and we post a blog on our website, and then you go to LinkedIn and you post a article on LinkedIn, and it's the same article, you actually get knocked down the algorithm for trying to manipulate, for just having two of the same articles, trying to manipulate Google, trying to manipulate SEO. But these celebrities use a loophole and they go to like 100 different platforms to get a certain story out and flood it. But we, normal people, get docked for that. But that's stuff my clients also need to know, because I'll have clients that are trying to build a business on LinkedIn and, say Instagram or YouTube as well as their website. And they are going, I don't understand. I've been doing this for a year. I'm not trending on Google. Well, it's because you're always reposting the same thing on LinkedIn articles and on your blog, and Google's knocking you down for that. You're getting taken out for that. So we need to look at, even though those that are watching on YouTube, you go to YouTube and you type in Justin Baldoni lawsuit update. People are still going to Google. And when we understand people's psychology, so my original career was in psychology, which is why I got so interested in the psychology of branding and marketing and SEO. When we look at people's psychology, every time you need them to click away, you lose them. So this is why you want to reduce clicks in your business. You want to have it as simple as possible for people to click and buy. This is why, years ago, for example, on Instagram, when you had to have 10,000 people to use like a link in your stories was such a big deal, because people aren't going to go from your Instagram stories, or most people, to your profile to click the link, to go through your link tree to click the thing. You want to make it as simple as possible. So when we're looking at people landing, so people that still go to Google and type in Justin Baldoni lawsuit news, to get them to do anything other than look at what hits like this, you're asking a lot. You're asking a lot. You want to dominate above the fold. Number one, above the fold means you don't need to scroll down. And then from there, you want to dominate the first two pages. Most people, again, you need people to click further. They're not doing it. You need people to click through videos. You're starting to lose people because they're having to click. And most likely, if people are going to Google, they want to read. You're going to have two different types of people. Some people prefer to read. Some people prefer to watch the video, which is also when I build businesses for myself and my client. And I used to do this more when I wasn't doing as much YouTube work. But if you want to repurpose, right, you'll create a podcast script. You repurpose that for written content and for video content. So you're hitting people that prefer written and video. But often if you're getting people that go to Google, they don't want to watch a video, they want to read. And again, you're going to lose them if they have to click here and then start scrolling through here, because these people are already just going to YouTube. So when we look at what hits when we first land on Justin Baldoni news, unfortunately right now, it's a lot about the insurer suing him. Now, most people, 80% of people, Only read the headline, guys. P, it's so nice to see you in the chat. Sorry if I missed you saying hello as you dropped in. We're a family here, guys. So make yourself at home in the chat. We truly are a family. So 80% of people just read the headline. So if, as someone that is in the industry for marketing, branding, and PR, let me just plug in my computer before we die here. Started doing CrossFit again yesterday. Now I'm stiff. Where is? Man, there's so many cords. I was like, this will only be like 45 minutes and then I'll go work out. Never the case. Never the case. Okay, so 80% of people are just going to read the headlines. It's something like 70 to 75% of people share a story based strictly on the headlines. So headlines matter. It matters to SEO, it matters to keywords, and it matters to the impression people get. So I wouldn't be surprised, not accusing Blake Sy of doing this, don't send me another subpoena, but of them kind of nudging this story out a bit because it serves them to have that story nudged out. What I would love to see is headlines start in Justin's favor in regards to what just came out, either the content creator subpoenas. Van Zandt would be great if someone wants to connect Van Zandt and the content creators. I'm going to do that myself. You want something done right? Just do it yourself. I'm going to do that myself. You guys heard it here first. But also, I would love if some headlines come out in regards to what Kevin talked about. Now, they can pick it up organically. Of course, they absolutely can. Or it can be, again, those media contacts that Tag had talked about, right? You call up your media contact. Doesn't mean you're seeding or planting. This is normal PR. And you tell them, this is what happened or this is a story that happened. It's just normal. Yeah, let's hit 14K today, which is still so surreal to me. I still can't believe people care about what I have to say or that people care about branding and marketing and PR. It's just crazy to me that anyone cares. Apparently, Blake and Ryan care what I have to say. But yeah, I would like to see a bit of a shift in this because, again, above the fold is going to be your prime real estate where people don't have to scroll. They don't have to click. Oh, there we go. I don't know who's pushing this one out again. This might be Taylor's team, guys. This might be Taylor's team. This might be Tree Payne. Get me the F away from this. Please make sure everyone knows I want nothing to do with these people. Is everything okay? Oh, okay, I thought Jules wasn't feeling well. Sorry, just checking in on the dogs. We just adopted a new rescue dog, Daisy. Right, Daisy May? Yeah. Good puppy girl. A couple days before this whole thing hit. So we have 3 rescue dogs. We have a farm animal sanctuary. But yes, I feel like this is Taylor being like, can we remind the media that I want nothing to do with these people? Is the horse doing well? Luna's doing much better. So we actually just got the results back for that. And it's like a perfect storm. I think it's because she's older, but we have a treatment plan. She's doing so much better. She's improved immensely, and she's only going to keep getting better. So Leo's talking about one of our rescue horses, Luna. She's an old girl, mid-20s, and she was very, very sick, like a day after I got the subpoena. So I was a little bit overwhelmed, but she's doing much better. So Luna showed up. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I show a lot of behind the scenes stuff. And if you like animals and farm animals, that'll be probably where you want to hang out too. She showed up, I think it was the day after I got the subpoena, with like overnight, just like something, it looks like some kind of infection. Her face was swollen, like out to here. I thought it was a tooth abscess, but the vet came out, emergency call, had the vet out. She's one of our rescue horses, and teeth were good. We thought maybe just a basic like skin infection, but she wasn't responding to any antibiotics. She wasn't responding to any of the meds. Had the vet out multiple times. And like, we're talking each morning we would go out and whatever it was like spreading so fast across her face. And anywhere she rubbed her face on her body, it was spreading. So anyway, we just got the testing results back this morning, and it was kind of like a perfect storm of multiple things and a bad infection. So we're treating her, but she's doing so much better. Luna's such a good girl. I actually was involved in her initial rescue about 12 years ago now, and I couldn't keep her because I didn't have a farm at the time, and I found her. So I found her after 11 years. She had been still, it's a long story. I'll do a full video on her. Actually, I do have one video on the channel about the farm animals, but I found her again. She had been bounced around, failed multiple times by people between the time I found her and we got the farm, and she came home to live with me. Hello. Oh my goodness. I love seeing your puppers. So beautiful. All right. What age was Looney when I found her? So I think she was she 5 or 6, I think? She was an adult. And then so I was about 12, or no, she would have been a bit older. I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head. She's about mid-20s now. So maybe 10? I'd have to double check. That's a good question. I think my dog was 5 when I rescued her. Anyway, all right. I genuinely think this is Taylor Swift and her team. I think she wants to stay, like, make it very clear that she has nothing to do with this, because there were some posts going around and starting to gain traction that Blake Lively might have been at Selena Gomez's party and that they're still talking. There was some of that gaining traction. So it's just interesting that we're seeing this come out now. Taylor Swift is ignoring Blake Lively's messages following Justin Baldoni fallout. The two women were best friends for many years. Taylor Swift and Blake Lively have been incredibly close friends for many years, but all that is rumored to have changed amid all the Justin Baldoni lawsuit. Now one source is claiming things have become quite strained between the pair, to the point where Taylor isn't answering the Gossip Girl star's messages anymore. Blake has reached out to Taylor with texts, voicemails, and even emails begging to mend what they once had. Yeah, there's no way. Taylor hasn't responded to any of Blake's pleas. Meanwhile, many of the pop star's celebrity friends have reportedly severed ties with Blake as the drama rages on. One insider claimed Gigi loyalty is to Taylor. Yeah, so I think this is all just, you see this come out when there's a shitstorm that happens again. So you tend to watch and watch the pattern now, guys. You'll notice something really bad happen with Blake. And it might not even be hitting Google yet. It might not even be trending yet. But you'll see, like, because I have no doubt Taylor's team, her PR team, is monitoring what's going on with Blake as well and what's going on with the lawsuit. Something like sketchy will come out with Blake. Blake will be caught in something, and all of a sudden you'll see stories come out that Taylor Swift is ignoring her, which is smart. It's smart PR. It's very smart PR. To just remind people, oh, that was so nice. P. Holla gifted 10 memberships. Thank you so much. We're going to have to do like an unhinged members only live. Thank you so much. Welcome to the new members. Let's do it. We'll schedule an unhinged members only live. Maybe I'll get a glass of wine and we'll just talk about it unfiltered. Although I'm pretty unfiltered as it is. But I would say that's what's going on, because if you do watch the PR for Taylor, it tends to be similar stories that will resurface when issues happen in Blake's camp. Taylor Swift delivers brutal blow to close pal Blake Lively amid Justin Baldoni drama. Yeah. Taylor just wants to remind y'all that she has nothing to do with this. Let's see what's going on for her. Which is smart. I think that's so smart. Whoever's doing that, and it's just enough, like, it's not getting involved. It's just, hey, reminding you that I'm not involved with this. I don't already do that at all. Yeah, shout out. That was so kind. So kind. We'll have some fun stuff this week. The last about week since I got subpoena has been a lot, but we'll get back to some fun stuff. Hear me out. Next moves. She starts to blame her own team, a team she likely encouraged to make these moves. Oh, I agree. Her own PR and counsel went against her efforts. Watch. I would not even doubt. That's a good point. That's a good point. So what's going on with T Swift? 2-part Taylor Swift documentary to feature rare footage and insider interviews. Taylor Swift series reveals heartbreaks and high stakes of career. Oh man, she should include the heartbreaks of Blake Lively in it. That'd be so good. That'd be so good. Oh, it's all confirmed. Nice. So there's some new news with Taylor. So yeah, she wants to make sure, and this is actually smart as well, because not only is she making sure that she is separated from this drama, however, she also has new news for her, right? So that's kind of what you want to do, is separate yourself from the drama, but also give people something, because then people are talking about something else. So separate, deliver something new. Smart. Very, very smart. Well done, T Swift. Can't believe I'm late. Hello, Lynn. It's so nice to see you. I love seeing all the puppers in the chat. Keep fighting the good fight, girl. You got all the creators involved. All right, my friend. Yeah, I do think she knew more than she's letting on. Absolutely. And I've said that a lot on the channel as well. I do think these PR moves are smart, though. I think what she's doing right now is very smart. Separate, give people something new. Because especially with the Swifties, they're going to run with it. They're going to run with it. And it's going to blow up everything. And then before you know it, people are going to be like, what? She was a friend of Blake Lively? What? Right? People are going to forget. Yeah, her PR is on fire. I think this is a great move. All right, my friends, that's all I have for you guys today. It was so nice to hang out with you, to chat with you guys. I'll try to get back into the swing of things of also getting some shorter videos, because I know not everyone wants to hang out and watch an hour plus video. I'll try to get back in the swing of things with that. I need to edit my motion to quash today. So I'm going to edit that. I want to add in a section addressing what went on with Ezra lying to the courts, and basically Kevin and Wayfarer saying, no, we aren't on a list. So I want to add that into my motion to quash. It was sent back. I don't even know if it was officially sent back, but it hasn't been filed because I didn't add my address. So I'm going to work on that this afternoon. Hopefully I can get that off, and then we can get back to just having like regular fun here. We'll do our lives. We'll do short form content. We'll do some fun members only lives with maybe a glass of wine. We'll see what goes. We'll have some fun again. Please, yeah. Okay, we'll get Ashley a glass of wine in, and then see what I really have to say. We'll put that on members only, though. Is a judge giving a response today for mine? It seems to be a kind of 2 to 3 day delay. So we have until July 31st to respond. We can talk about that quick before we go. So we have till July 31st to respond for our motion to quash. I think there's a little bit of misinformation going out about Google. And it started, I think, yesterday, but Google has not said they're not supporting us. Google has not said that they're not going to fight this. None of this. Basically, Google said, we need to know what you're doing by July 31st. So Google still has an opportunity to fight this. I guess we'll see it on the docket if they do. But we have an opportunity until July 31st to respond. And then, unfortunately, Blake and Ezra have until I think it's August 4th to respond to us and to fight back and say why, yes, she should have access to our bank account information, why she should have access to our IP address, why she should have access to our phone numbers. They have until August 4th to respond to that. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know where things go from there. I'll be honest, I'm not sure. I don't know if it's then the judge that is like, no, Google should fight this, but well, yeah, they should. I hope they do. I hope they make the right choice here. Make good choices, Google. When I say to the horses every morning, make good choices. But they haven't said no. They haven't said no that they're not going to. Same thing with X. X hasn't said they're not going to. They haven't said they are going to. I'm assuming that they also have till the 31st. So we do have until the 31st to respond. Blake will respond by August 4th. So hopefully I'll get that up today. And yeah, like I said, I forgot to put my address. I didn't know you had to put your address. Shimmy. You guys have to go to, do you want me to shimmy? No, I can't dance. I shimmy in in the privacy of no cameras on while you guys shimmy. That's what I shimmy. It's so funny. I love you guys. So anyway, that's kind of what we're doing. That's kind of the process that we're in the middle of. We're going to be in limbo. Everyone is, from what I know, filing their own motion to quash to try and fight this. Okay, I'll do it on maybe a members only with a glass of wine. I love you guys. Look, now I'm getting red. I am matching my shirt. I you guys lost me. Now I'm gone. Now I'm lost. I'm lost. I'm lost. I'm lost in the sauce. Energetically shimmying. All right, my friends. So that's kind of where we are. I am getting it sent off. I've been asked if I will read my motion to quash on the internet. No, 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 no. I can't listen to my own voice. Like, I will be so self-conscious reading it, but someone else is more than welcome to if they want to, but I will be so self-conscious reading it. So I'm not going to read mine, but someone else can if they want. Maybe Lauren will read mine or something. But that's where we stand, guys. I'll keep you updated. Today, I'm hopefully going to get that off this afternoon so we can move on and start having some fun on the channel again. All right. But I love you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. I will have a glass of wine. I will get red is your brand though. Yeah. Good point. Good point. I'll have a glass of wine on the next one and shimmy with you guys. All right, my friends. It was honestly such an honor. I love hanging out with you guys. If any crazy updates come up, I'll try to get it out there for. Oh, yeah. Bruce can read it. I love Bruce. Bruce from Oregon. He can read it for sure. I'll get you guys any updates. But with that, guys, I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.